What is going on, y'all? Cover Two Podcast subscribers. I'm your co-host, one half of Cover Two Podcast, your boy JC, man. Um, quick video, this little post game recap. Not a big advocate or a big fan of the preseason, but definitely for my Falcons fans, want to get into this post game recap because there was some things I saw that I definitely like. Um, Before we even get started with anything, definitely want to send a prayers up to the young man who got hurt during the game. Um, I'm not sure of his name. Maurice Norris taken off by the ambulance. Nasty collision. Um, I think they say he's talking, he's breathing, everything's going fine with him. They still running more tests on him. So yeah, hopefully he's all right. Never like to see things like that. The game actually got suspended in the fourth quarter. The players and coaches came together and agreed, just to suspend the rest of the game. Um, but that being said, uh, let's get into the action that did happen. Before we even get started, man, definitely make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. All my Falcons fans, tap in. We're gonna keep y'all coming with the coverage all season long. Um, all NFL fans, tap in. My boy Kyrie, he's cooking us up an intro right now, fire intro. He already sent it to me. I seen it. It's fire. So I'm telling y'all, man, y'all tap in with us. We at 79 subs right now, man. Let's get this thing to 100. Let's get this thing to 100 before the season start, man. We're gonna keep pushing this content out for y'all. But man, let's get right into it. Offensively, man, I'm gonna start on the defense. I'm sorry, I gotta start on the defense because it's just like defense was, bruh. Jeff Obert got the defense looking different. I'm not gonna lie. Like you got Josh Woods out there. He stood out. He looked good at that linebacker position. D'Angelo Malone, as far as when he was playing inside linebacker snaps, he honestly didn't look that much out of place. Bruh, Helms. DeMarco Helms is an enforcer on this defense, y'all. Like we definitely have us one. Um, we can look and see, James Pierce Jr. He's been getting into some scuffles or whatever, but bro, Helms is he one of the ones, man. When it comes to like really laying that boom.
Second down and 10. Okay. Oh, there's a big hit, knocks the ball loose. We've got plenty of flags. It was DeMarco Helms who laid the hit.
The trash at the Detroit sideline.
That looked like a clean hit.
Led with his shoulder.
Led with his forearm. This is the big hits, the knockbacks, the body blows that this guy will bring to the table. We saw him doing it last preseason. There's a reason he's nicknamed Hitman Helms. Coach says second down and 10.
Hitman Helms. Hey, he definitely put a hit on that young man trying to catch that ball. But like I said, I think he looked good out there. He had another play right after that play. He looked good out there. I'm glad to see him out there. Like I said, he's an enforcer on this defense. I heard on the broadcast them saying basically, even if he doesn't get the starting position next to Jesse, they still have already pretty much guaranteed him a spot on the field because it's like they need that intensity on the back end. I thought Natrone Brooks looked, he had a I believe he had a pass deflection. He was standing out a little bit. He looked good handling himself on the outside because last year we pretty much saw him working in the slot, but he looked good out there on the outside. But the guys I really want to highlight is the dudes on that line, bro. I'm talking about Brandon Dorless. He had a sack, forced fumble. Kareem had a sack. And Katie had a sack, forced fumble. I mean, these guys was flying around. Taquan Graham had a tackle for a loss. Let me see. Who else had a tackle for a loss? That was it. But, I mean, even the young guys like Jalen Walker and Pierce Jr., they was getting home. They was winning. They wasn't getting all the way home, but, they was winning their matchups. I thought Rook was getting in the backfield a little bit. It just felt refreshing to see the linemen, actually just going instead of, whatever that was they was doing last year because I have no idea. Other guys, we didn't get a chance to see Braylon Trice. I don't know if he was going to be, more favored into like the second half and, due to the game, the situation that happened, us not seeing him. But, that'll be interesting to see the rest of the preseason because, he's back from that injury. He is a third-round pick last year. I definitely want to see him get some snaps out there. So, we'll see what's going on with that. Secondary wise, Lamar Jackson, he's a big corner out there. He was coming down, making some hits. Kobe Bryant got beat a few times out of position on like some screen passes or whatever, but he'll get it together. I still think he's a good shot to make this roster, in my opinion. Xavier Watts got a lot of playing time, not really much standing out. Billy Bowman Jr. made a nice special teams tackle. Like I said, I still think those guys are the favorites to start. D. Alford, he kind of was a mixed bag out there. He got beat on a little pick route. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really kind of more so in favor of Billy Bowman winning that slot position, but we'll see how it go. Offensively, I thought Easton Stick, man, he looked good. Like he looked good for a backup third string quarterback. I mean, 15 to 18, 149, one touchdown. At first, when the game first started, I really thought the line was going to be in for one of them days, but they ended up settling in. They really never got much push in the run game, as you can see by the rushing totals. But Easton Stick was out there. He was dealing. That 2-minute drive they had before the half, that was beautiful. The depth wide receivers, they had a pretty good game. Like I said, Nick Nash, he was getting more so started when Emory Jones was in the game, but of course, with the game being suspended, they couldn't, finish whatever they was going to start. Dylan Drummond, 8 catches, 63 yards. Chris Blair had a nice touchdown catch. I believe he had all his catches on that drive, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, I mean, Easton Stick was looking good. That lets me know if we need to trade Kirk or if a situation happens, and he slides to that backup spot because he was a backup with the Chargers. So, if that's the situation we need him to be in, tonight kind of, put a little confidence in that. Special team wise, Lenny Craig was the kicker for the night. He was 1 for 2. He made one for 57. I believe he missed the other one for 53. From what I'm seeing from him is really he has the leg for pretty much any kick they attempted with him, like 60 and in. But it's just the accuracy. I found it kind of, point of emphasis or just like interesting that he was kicking tonight instead of Koo. I'm not sure if like that's already signifying that Koo is still the starter. I've been seeing, the reporting coming out of training camp is basically like Koo is making damn near every kick. But Craig is not too far behind him. But, with him being an international roster guy, he can still be on the roster and not necessarily count against us for a spot. So I think Koo will end up retaining that starting position, but I think we'll keep Craig around, just in case Koo gets injured or, starts to slump again like he did last year for whatever reason. I think we'll keep him around. But yeah, with that being said, man, next we move on to the Titans joint practice, and then we'll have another preseason game against them at home. I definitely like what I saw from the defense tonight. I really wasn't much so looking into the offense because none of the guys that really played tonight really will be key contributors towards what we're doing in the regular season on offense. But there were a lot of guys that were playing on defense that I thought, will actually get some play time in the regular season. And I think everybody who played really that will play had a moment where they stood out. And I think that's like, that's all I wanted to see. Like, give me something. Give me a spurt, something of Jeff Ulbricht's teaching, and what him and these Raheem Morris and Terry, what the guys he's brought in. Let us see something. And I think we saw a lot of flashes out there of these guys that, really will play this season. And it's encouraging for sure. But, man, like I said, preseason, not meant to be a long video. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Like I said, like this video. Subscribe to the channel, man. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Cover 2 podcasts. We're coming at you all season with content, like I said, live streams, videos, everything, man. Like I said, I'm going to drop these social medias down in the description for y'all to follow us, those of y'all who on social media. And until next time, man, rise up.